Hello, Aileen Gallagher here. So today I want to answer the question of why is it that people don't make the changes that they know that they need to make? And I'm specifically focusing on my own audience, which is small business owners and professionals. So every day I speak with business owners, and regardless of where they are, what stage of level that they're in business, sometimes they're in the first or second year of their business, sometimes they've been in business for 20 years, but by virtue of the fact that they're speaking to me, they're usually coming because they're frustrated with the progress that they're making. They're not getting the results that they want, and they're definitely not getting the results they want at the rate that they want to get them, and they know on some level that they have some part to play in why it is that they are frustrated. They know that they need to be following through, and they're not. So as I said, regardless of where they are, if I'm speaking to them, they're usually frustrated with where they are. So they say things like, okay, I don't know what's wrong with me, I seem to be going around in circles. Why can't I just get it on and just get what I need to get done. And so, like I said, it's irrelevant of where they are, like financially, or what financial success that they've already had in their business, because you may have heard of the phrase new level, new devil, and by that I mean that every time that we decide that we want to go to a higher level of income, or a higher level of performance that we may not have reached before, new challenges present themselves, and that become very frustrating, because particularly in, when we think that we've kind of dealt with these issues before, when we crossed other milestones, or hit other income goals or other performance levels, and then that they seem to have came back. So when I speak to these business owners, they're annoyed with themselves, they're beating up on themselves, they know that they need to be working more on their business, that over cliched line of working more on the business than in it. But it's true that in order to progress to the next level, we need to actually focus on working on it as very much as much as in it. So they're doing all these things, they're following their schedules, they have diaries maybe laid out, and hour by hour different tasks that they know that they have to work on, but they seem to constantly find themselves in busy work that's urgent to the business or to the job at that particular time. And they know that deep down, if this habits and patterns continue, that they know that by doing what they're doing, they're not going to achieve their goals or get to that level that they're looking for. But they just can't seem to get out of the rut or get out of the pattern and just have the breakthrough that they need to have. So the first thing that I say to these business owners that I speak to is, it's not your fault. It's not your fault, because basically what you're trying to do is solve this issue on a conscious level, tackle this issue on a conscious level, and not address, I suppose, what needs to be addressed at the subconscious level. So what I mean by that is, and I'm going to share my screen here for a second. Now, this isn't a very kind of oversimplistic view of the mind, but I just looked for an image just to make it kind of easier maybe to visualize. But business owners and professionals, they don't succeed in making the changes that they know they need to make because they're trying to change at that conscious level, but they haven't addressed what's stopping them at the subconscious level. And I suppose how I kind of got into this part of the work that I'm doing is that as a business coach for many, many years, I found that we could actually be given the strategy of exactly what to do, but some business owners would actually be able to carry out the instructions, whatever strategy we might be working on, whether it's sales, marketing, leadership team, whatever that it might be. And then others, no matter what we did or what we went through, there was something stopping them. So if we look here at we'll say what the conscious level is. The conscious level is, these kind of things that we do, the plans, the spreadsheets, the actions that we're taking, the goals that we're setting, the things that we say that we want to achieve. But what we see at that level is, we'll say, the actions or the results that people are taking. What drives that action is what's actually in the subconscious part of the mind. And that's far more complex, and has actually 95% of our behavior approximately is driven by our subconscious mind. So what's in our subconscious mind is all the beliefs from early childhood, from all sorts of things that we've been taught over the years, the values that we have, the skills that we have, what we're good at, what we're not good at, how we see ourselves, and how we see the rest of the world. So that conscious behavior that we're trying to tackle our issues with is dictated by what's happening in the subconscious. So if we're not getting the results that we want, and if we're not able to consistently take the actions that we need to take, and we find ourselves in either busy work or distraction or procrastination or fear or whatever that it might be, there is something in our subconscious mind that is blocking us taking this behavior. The subconscious mind is far more powerful than the conscious mind. This is where all our emotions, our memories, everything lies in this subconscious mind. There are all other levels of this, is, as I said, very oversimplistic. There are lots of other levels of consciousness in our mind, but this is just a simplistic illustration in order to kind of try to illustrate the point or explain the point that I'm trying to make. What we're trying to say is, okay, why don't people make the changes that they know that they need to make? We know at a conscious level what we need to do and the actions that we need to take, but sometimes there are things in our subconscious level that are stopping us. And this subconscious level, by the very nature of the word subconscious, it's below our level of consciousness, so we're not even aware of it. If we knew the answer to our questions, or the answers as to why we can't actually make the changes, if we knew that on a conscious level, we could sort it out. And this is what I found when I was working only on the conscious level of coaching and to try to get results, that no matter how hard we work on the conscious level, if there is something stopping us or blocking us at a subconscious level, if we will never get the results that we need. We will never be able to take the actions that we need to take in order to get those results. So this is where it's so important. And sometimes obviously we need to obviously the strategy is hugely important, but if you think about, oftentimes we have the strategy, we know the strategy, we know exactly what we need to be doing, and oftentimes on a day by day, hour by hour basis, we know what we need to be doing. But when there's something stopping us, this is the reason why. So yes, strategy is important, and if we don't take actions, of course we'll never get the results. But we'll never take the actions if we don't address at a subconscious level if there's something stopping us. So if you're finding that you're not able to make the changes and you don't know why it is, even though you know on a conscious level what you need to do, what actions you need to take, there's a very high likelihood that there's something at the subconscious level blocking you or stopping you, and you need to be to work with someone to be able to do this work and remove the subconscious blocks. And when that happens, and it can happen really, really fast, in sometimes one session, but usually no more than 2 or 3, immediately you nearly get a transformation of the fog lifting, of you getting clarity. Because on a subconscious level, maybe there's something that you feel, okay, that at some level something has happened where you feel you're not good enough. Your subconscious mind has decided that it's not safe for you to have the success or have the level of income or achieve a certain level of performance that you want. If there is some memory or imprint associated with that, and until you actually understand what that is and do the work to remove it, you will stay exactly where you are, where you kind of feel stuck, and you make progress and you take one step forward and seems to be 2 steps back again. So this is really where one of the reasons, the main reason why people don't make the changes that they know that they need to make.